Good.
I think we're even.
We're good. Okay. I'm Steve, and I never thought I would say this, but I am a cardiac arrest survivor.
You are.
I am.
You are.
And I decided to make this video to not educate, but inform people on what your families might experience going through something like this, or what we experienced.
Yeah, it's just our take on it.
And I'm going to make it the whole video without crying.
You might not.
I probably won't.
But that's okay.
I'm going to try. So, for those wondering, this happened at 2 in the morning, 2:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
January 14th. I don't remember a lot of the weeks leading up to the cardiac arrest. And for those that aren't aware, and I'm going to say this multiple times, I'm not a medical professional. This is my opinion and what I've learned. Cardiac arrest and a heart attack are not the same thing, right?
Correct.
Correct. A heart attack, from what my understanding is a clogged artery, and your heart physically doesn't stop immediately from it, and it's painful, generally speaking.
You know it's coming most of the time.
You usually can tell it's coming up.
Most of the time.
Cardiac arrest, there's different types of cardiac arrest. I personally experienced what they call Vtach and Vfib, which we'll get into after. So Friday the 13th, I don't remember going to bed. I went to bed at some point around 10 p.m.
Yeah.
I happened to be sleeping on the couch that night. We have a 3-story house. I was on the middle floor, and I like to sleep with the window open in the winter. My wife freezes, so I was on the couch that night and had the window open, and I don't remember anything at all. We were actually at our friend's house previously, a couple hours before that. I don't remember being at their house. She showed me pictures of me being there. I have no memories of being there. I have no memories of being at work that day. I have no memories of being at work the day before. We were sledding with our kids that Sunday, 5 days before that. I have no memories of that.
The Blades game the day before that. A week before. You don't remember?
I don't remember being at the Blades game, which is a WHL team here in town. I don't remember being there. The odd thing is I do remember a short part of the drive home from our friend's house around 9 p.m., which is weird.
Yeah, that's all you remember.
Very short part of it. So anyway, 2:45 in the morning, Leah hears an unusual noise. My doctor suspects I was yelling for help. And then a big bang.
Yeah, it sounded like you were gasping for air, really loud.
Yeah.
Twice you did it.
Yeah.
And then there was silence, and then a loud bang.
Loud bang.
And I woke up, and I debated getting out of bed, and I chose to get out and see what was going on. And I didn't initially see you on the couch, and I didn't see you anywhere else on the main floor. And I almost headed back upstairs and thought, no, there's something weird. And I looked again, and I saw a silhouette of you on the floor face down.
Yeah, because you didn't have your contacts in or glasses on.
No, I didn't.
No.
And it was dark in the house.
And it was dark in the house, yeah.
And then I shook you thinking you just fell off the couch, and you didn't wake up, and I saw some blood on your face. And I turned on the lights, and I yelled for our oldest son to come downstairs and bring a cell phone to call 911.
Who's 16?
Yeah, he's 16.
Just turned 16.
He did not wake up from the noise. He woke up from me yelling. And I tried to roll you over, but our furniture was in the way. You kind of fell in between the couch and our coffee table. So I had to
I'll put a picture of that right here. I'll insert a picture of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I had to move the coffee table out of the way and try to roll you over from your stomach onto your back. And I felt for a pulse, and I couldn't feel a pulse. And by that time, Jaron, our oldest son, had come downstairs, and he had 911 on speakerphone, and he handed me the phone. And I looked at him, and I said, you need to start CPR. And he started CPR. And I spoke with dispatch, and then after a little while, we switched off because I could tell he was getting tired. And I continued CPR until the first responder came into the house. And
who was our neighbor's son.
Yeah, and then he took over. And then a short while after that, everybody else came in, fire, police, ambulance, and then they all took over and they saved you. They worked for a little while. So hard to comprehend. I know. They worked for a little while in the house, and then they worked for a little while in the ambulance. And then I think about 4, maybe 4:30 in the morning, they were finally ready to go to the hospital. I'm actually very foggy on times. It's all a bit of a blur.
Yeah, but so if I remember right from what you told me, they left the house and then you just kind of tidied up from the first responders, because obviously they don't take the shoes off or anything. They can't.
No, they can't.
Yeah, so I mean there was snow everywhere and there was papers everywhere from the defibrillator.
Yeah, little plastic pieces,
yeah.
and when you have bags of ringers, they have those little.
Yeah, and that's when reality hit you.
Yeah, there's just stuff everywhere, and they did clean up. They were very good about it, but I mean, there's little things everywhere, and your furniture is scattered one way this way and one way this way to make room for them. And then everybody left, and I just looked around my house, and I couldn't believe what happened.
Yeah,
it's just very surreal.
So then you end up getting the boys and heading to the hospital.
Yeah.
About what time? You kind of wrote down a rough timeline there.
Well, I think it was about 4:30 in the morning that we left. And we got to the hospital, and then we were put in a private room so that the ER doctor...
As an emergency still, right? Or was it intensive care now?
No, you were just in emergency.
Emergency, yeah.
They were able to fill me in on what had happened.
Because at home you didn't know my heart stopped.
No, I assume that because they had to shock you
yeah.
twice. But we didn't know what happened or why it happened. We just knew that that's what needed to be done.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, we were in a private room, and the ER doctor came in and said you were in great hands with, the favorite paramedics and their favorite cardiologist, and everybody was just going to do the best they could for you.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, we didn't know if you were going to make it or not. So we just sat and we waited, and it took them quite a while to get you hooked up to IVs and intubated. And
when's the first time you saw me?
then they moved you from the emergency room down to CCU,
which stands for
the cardiac care unit.
Cardiac care unit. Okay.
Down at RUH. Probably just before 8 a.m. I was finally able to see you. About that.
Yeah. You came in.
Yeah. I'd already spoke with a lot of nurses, a lot of social services workers to help families that go through traumatic events like this. I'd already spoke with the cardiologist. We just needed to see you. And it took them a little while to get you organized.
Yes.
In order for family to see you. And we did, and it's very overwhelming.
You came into the CCU unit.
Yeah.
And I had 9 IVs.
I don't remember.
Well, you said 3 machines of 3, so that's 9.
Yeah.
9 IVs.
Yeah.
I had a feed tube in my side that went, so if you don't know, a feed tube goes through your ribs and directly into your stomach, so they can feed you. Mm-hmm. I was in a coma. Yeah,
they put you in a medically induced coma so that your body can just relax and heal, so your brain didn't have to do any work. You had a cooling tube.
Which ran through my groin.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I had that thing on my head to monitor my brain.
Yeah, you had monitors all over your head. You look like a bit of a robot, Bentley said.
Yeah, and then I had, what's the tube? Not incubated.
Intubated.
Intubated.
Yeah.
So I had a tube down my throat so I could breathe, and I guess if...
The machine was breathing for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
because you were in a coma.
Yeah, so that was probably hard to see.
Yeah, it was all hard to see.
Yeah.
That's not what we're used to. Young, healthy people aren't supposed to be in positions like that, and it happens.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah.
So what next? What was the next thing?
We just waited. We waited to get results. We waited to see how your body would respond and to see if swelling would go down. And then that afternoon, you coded right after lunch.
So I went back into cardiac arrest at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, so then I was visiting you in your room with another friend of ours, and we had to leave the room, and they shocked you again. You only needed 1 shock this time, and then we were allowed to go back in, and that was the last time you coded. That was the last really scary thing that we had to endure. But it was a long road. It was a long 11 days.
Well, at that point, you were planning my funeral.
Yeah.
And then things progressed.
Slowly. But
what happened after that? So that was at 1 p.m. Was that the last thing that day? What was the next day? So that was Saturday.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
So Sunday, you just came and I slept all day. I was in my coma.
You were still in your coma on Sunday. They just talked about needing to get your shivering under control.
Oh, right, because I was shivering loss.
That was the big thing that they were fighting with, was your brain was working and they didn't want your brain to work because you were shivering, and they thought you were cold, so they put one of those warming, it's not really a warming blanket, it's almost like an inflatable mattress.
Yeah.
And it warms you. It was really interesting. So they tried to keep your body warm so that you wouldn't shiver. Then they realized that you were probably fighting off pneumonia.
Yeah.
And you were
which
fevered.
is common with cardiac arrest because you inhale vomit.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very common.
But the interesting thing is I remember things from my coma, being in my coma, and one of the things I remember is hot air blowing on my feet, and I was annoyed by it. I'm like, where is this air coming from?
It was really nice because when I held your hand, because it was so cold down in CCU, I held your hand and it kept me warm.
Yeah.
Because that warming.
Yeah.
That warm
I
mattress
remember
was
I'm
nice.
like, where is this? Like, it was like I was on a beach. And I'm like, where's this air coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was sleeping, right?
Yeah.
So really weird.
Yeah. So that day,
Sunday.
they just tried to get your shivering under control. Not much happened that day.
No.
No, that was it.
You slept.
I just sat there.
And you slept a little bit,
Yeah,
as much as you could, because you didn't sleep at home.
No, I didn't sleep at home.
No.
We had a lot of visitors. The kids came to see you.
Yeah, I don't remember them being there. So then Monday,
when I called CCU first thing in the morning, I asked how your night was.
like 7:30 first thing, or
6.
6? Okay.
Yeah. They said that they tried to take you off the meds a little bit, manage your meds a little bit more. And they wanted to see if they could try and wake you up from your coma. So that was our plan for the day. And they did. By the afternoon, they were able to take you off your propofol and see how you responded, and tried to see what your brain activity was like. It's really hard to have a discussion about the possibility of you not waking up with any brain function. But fortunately, you always have to hear worst case scenario, and we didn't have to deal with worst case scenario.
No. What time was that? They started to wake me up.
Well, I think in the afternoon. I can't remember.
Because I remember you talking to me. When was that?
Yeah, so then it took about a half an hour because you had a lot of meds in your system. And the nurse had said, I want you to squeeze your hand. So I said, Steve, can you squeeze my hand? And you finally did squeeze my hand, and it was a good firm squeeze. So that was wonderful to feel. And then you started moving your other arm, your left arm, by Jaron. I think you were trying to touch his hand or his arm maybe. And then the nurse asked you to wiggle your toes, and you wiggled your toes instantaneously. And then they asked me to put my voice right by your head here and speak to you and see if your head could turn this way and follow my voice. And it did. Mm-hmm. And it was wonderful.
And I remember that.
You remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah. And you did that, and they were really happy you passed all their tests. So they put you back in the coma, and then they talked about bringing you out slowly and safely, because not everybody comes out willingly out of a coma. They can get aggressive, or they can be
some people come out
confused.
swinging.
They can, because you're intubated, and your first instinct is to pull that tube out of your throat. Mm-hmm. So your arms and your legs are tied to the bed for your own safety, until they think that it's safe for you to be detached from those.
Yeah.
So, and anyway, they did wean you off your medication, and you woke up. I remember I'd asked you, can you open your eyes?
I said no.
And you went,
no. I was still sleeping.
You did that twice. You didn't. Your eyelids were too heavy. You couldn't open them. But once they weaned you off the medication slowly, you came out and you were not violent at all. You.
Well, I was mad. I was tied up. I
confused.
was pulling on the bed, and you told me to relax because I was going to break the bed trying to get my arm out of it.
Yeah.
You put your hand on me and told me to relax.
Yeah, and you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And.
But I didn't know I was in the hospital yet.
No.
No.
I was actually speaking, I believe, as one of the residents who was talking to me about some of your results, and I looked over at you, and your eyes were open all of a sudden, and I ran away from him.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you, and then I had to go back and apologize to him. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah. No, I remember I opened my eyes, and I could hear the heart monitor going beep, beep.
Yeah.
But in CCU, it doesn't look like a hospital. There was like the cabinets and stuff, and there was a closet, and and then you asked me if I knew where I was. And I said I didn't know.
No, you were very confused, and you tried to mouth what happened.
Yeah, but I had the tube in my mouth.
Yeah. And I just said,
I thought I was in a car accident.
Yeah, you said, did I hurt somebody? And I said, no. I said, this happened at home. But I didn't want to tell you what happened because I didn't want you scared. It was all. overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you were very confused. And you're tired.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they wanted to keep my blood pressure and everything down. They don't want to be like, yeah, hey, by the way, your heart stopped at home. This is who saved you. Son did CPR.
Yeah, because then your blood pressure goes through the roof.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous.
Yeah. So that's so we're on Tuesday.
Yeah, that was Monday.
That was Monday.
Yeah,
Sorry.
No, you slowly woke up and...
Was that the applesauce day?
No, because you were still intubated.
Oh, okay, still intubated. Yeah.
But you recognized everyone, and we were able to talk to you, and you were very emotional.
See, that was another risk, though, is memory loss. I might have forgot who our friends and family are.
Yeah, that was a risk they talked about too, and they said he's going to have memory loss.
Yeah.
So fortunately, the memories that you lost are only the week.
The week before.
Yeah.
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 And then, so Tuesday.
Tuesday they talked about extubating you.
You came in Tuesday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Did you probably called before you came?
I always called before I came. I always called to see how your night was. They were very good about keeping me updated.
So you came in.
Yeah, they talked about extubating you, which is taking that breathing tube out.
Yeah.
But they want to make sure that they don't do it too soon. So they had to make sure that you were going in the right direction before they did that. And and you were. You made slow progress every day, which was really nice to see. So they extubated you, and you were still pretty sleepy. You really didn't do too much. You couldn't talk. You had to have the oxygen mask on. You slept a lot of the day. Yeah.
I think my brother came that day, and I kept asking him what time it was.
Yeah, that would have been in the evening after I left.
Well, we were in the basement, so there was no windows.
Yeah.
So I never knew the time, right? Which kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
And I kept asking what time it was, and he kept saying 9:30.
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, we had just a few visitors. We really limited who was there because, again, you were so emotional. Seeing everybody's care and concern would have spiked your blood pressure and really made you cry.
Yeah.
So I didn't bring the kids. For a couple days just to make sure that you were in a good place to be able to see them.
And then we had applesauce Tuesday.
Yeah, and a banana. That was really nice.
Yeah.
It's the little things that you really, really look forward to. When I was standing there looking at you when you were in a coma and you were laying completely still, I really didn't want to have to plan a funeral, and I was really scared. So the fact that I got to feed you a banana, like, I was just floored. I was so excited. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
So, no, it was good. And that was Tuesday.
And I actually feel like I was standing when I was having the banana because I've been laying for 4 days.
Yeah.
But all they did was they inclined my bed a little bit so I didn't choke.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was standing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tuesday, a couple milestones, banana and applesauce.
Yeah. Wednesday you started physical therapy. So your voice was much stronger.
Yeah. Robbie gave me some pop. My brother gave me some pop.
Some ginger ale.
Ginger ale, yeah.
Yeah, and some juice.
Because that's all I wanted when I woke up was ginger ale.
Yeah, that was Tuesday night.
That was Tuesday night, yeah.
Wednesday you started the physical therapy. And
so that was a story all in itself.
Yeah, because you couldn't move at all.
For those wondering what happened, was his name Chris? Did you get his name?
No, that was not your physical therapist. I actually can't remember his name.
So he comes in and introduces himself and says that he's going to teach me to get out of bed. And I'm like pretty confident I've been getting out of bed for 39 years. I've got this. Yeah. And then when he told me to get out of bed, I didn't know how to get out of bed. I couldn't move.
Nope, you couldn't move at all.
And that's not from laying in bed for 4 days. Lots of people have had the flu for 4 days and get out of bed.
Yeah.
What I learned was, again, I'm not a medical professional, but what I've taken in is when you're in a coma, your brain shuts off everything basically from the neck down to focus on your heart and your brain, and that's it. And it loses connection with your muscles.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to learn everything all over again.
You do.
Yeah. So I was pretty overwhelmed when I couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah, you couldn't sit up.
Mm-hmm.
You were leaning to one side.
Yeah, he's like, we're going to take this slow. So it was like probably a 3-minute ordeal just to get me to sit up on the side of the bed, but then I kept tipping over.
Yeah.
And then he kept lifting me back up.
Yeah.
And then that was it for that day.
No, I think you stood up and you took a couple steps to the side.
Oh, did we do side steps too?
Yeah, you only did a few side steps, and then he had you sit back down.
Yeah.
And lay back down, and then that was enough. Then you napped. You were a little overwhelmed. That was too much.
That was a bit to take in.
Yeah.
And then on.
And then so on Thursday, he came in again, and you were able to sit up a little bit easier.
Yeah, still needed a lot of help, yeah.
Yeah. Your leg movement to swing them off from the bed down was better.
Yeah.
And he had you take 3 steps forward, 3 steps back, and then...
With him holding me under the arms because I couldn't stand.
Yeah.
I was shaking like crazy.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
And then you laid back down and you put a cool cloth over your forehead and you napped again because that was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
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 So, so that's Thursday, what, like the... 15, 16.
I have my notes. That was the 20th.
Thursday the 20th, okay?
Yeah.
Of January, okay?
Yeah, and then that evening, they said that you were ready to move out of CCU up to the 6th floor, the cardiac.
And I didn't want to.
No, because
I was in my comfort zone.
It was really nice for you to have 24-hour care there.
The nurses were unreal. Remember Chris? He was unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. His real name was Thane.
He'll get that joke.
If he sees this, yes.
Yeah, and you built a really wonderful relationship with them. I built a really wonderful relationship with them, and I was just... I was sad to go,
yeah.
But it was time because you were getting better and you didn't need that care anymore.
Dr. Wardell said I needed to go upstairs because I needed room to move.
Yeah.
He wanted to see me getting out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I went up there.
Yeah. The nurse took us upstairs and you had your own room up there.
Oh, that was after we took the catheter out. That was terrible.
We're not going to talk about that on here.
I came upstairs in a wheelchair, my first wheelchair ride. It was awesome.
Yeah, you said you want one for Costco.
I think it'd be awesome to get pushed around a wheelchair in Costco. Hopefully it doesn't offend anybody, but I had a great time in wheelchair.
We could put you in the cart.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So Thursday, upstairs.
In the evening, yeah.
Evening.
Yeah.
Right after you left, we got a private room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not mobile solo. I can't get out of bed on my own.
No.
I can't sit up on my own. I needed the power of the bed to sit up.
Yeah.
I can't do anything on my own.
No, you're...
The only thing I can do on my own at this point is with the... No, not even on my own. I had the nurse's help. Was pee in that jug.
Yeah.
Couldn't even do that on the side of the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were dependent on everyone.
Yeah. So that's Thursday.
So physical therapy, though, they came and they gave you a lot of exercises to do. So starting Friday...
He gave me that paper. Well, I did those Thursday after you left and I got the private room.
Mm-hmm.
I did some of the exercises because I couldn't sleep. So I couldn't do anything else. So I did those while you were gone.
Yeah, you learned your balance and you learned to turn around a little bit.
That was Friday
and bend over.
The Thursday night was just sitting up and I was getting out of the bed on both sides.
Oh, okay.
First I did my dominant side and then I did my non-dominant side.
Mm-hmm.
And then you came Friday.
Yeah.
You correct me if I'm wrong. You came Friday and you wanted to go for a walk to work on my walking.
Yeah.
And I jumped out of bed and you couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
Yeah.
Like once your muscles regained
enough strength, yeah.
It just came to you.
Yeah.
So Friday we went for a lot of walks.
We did.
We were supposed to be on a vacation and
we're supposed to be in the Bahamas.
So we pretended it was our vacation. We took a walk and we held hands and we just did our loops around the 6th floor.
Talked to all the nurses.
Yeah, made some friends. We sat and watched Netflix and had Starbucks, and that was our vacation.
There was a couple awesome nurses. One of my favorite nurses I lost when I got the private room.
Yeah.
She was fantastic.
Yeah, they were all really good there.
Andy, he was the guy in the band. He was super cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
and then the weekend, you didn't actually progress anymore. Like you just kept walking, but
well, then it was Saturday.
We just had visitors the whole weekend.
Well, I had my shower incident.
Yes.
That was Saturday. I wanted to look nice for her because this was the first time I looked in a mirror in a week. And when I went in there, I was already looking pretty rough. So this is my first time looking in a mirror in a week. I haven't showered in a week. I haven't combed my hair in a week. I haven't done anything. I've got a beard, which I don't usually have. I've got a beard. I've got dry skin everywhere. I've got wax and shit in my hair. And
you look like you had been in a coma.
I looked like I'd been in a coma. Apparently I was stage 3, class 3, whatever. I think it meant my heart stopped 3 times, so no hot water.
Yeah.
So
you were on a strict no shower order.
But you walked in and you smelt my face wash and you were so excited.
You looked really nice.
Yeah.
It was really, really nice to see you.
Yeah. And then Sunday was the first time I watched on the vehicle app that you were on your way.
Yeah.
And I met you at the elevator.
That was so nice. Yeah. You were just casually standing there waiting for me.
Like
You didn't have to learn how to walk all over again.
No, I used my IV pole for a little bit of balance and walked all the way down there.
Yeah.
The nurses were, I would say, astonished.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, you were progressing very quickly.
Yeah.
Like I said, over the weekend, you really didn't have more room to improve.
No,
because there wasn't much more to improve. We just had to wait for your surgery.
I was walking, but like I'd become disoriented if I turned too fast.
Yeah.
Or remember the one time I bent over to get something in the bathtub and I almost rolled into the bathtub.
Yeah.
You had to grab me.
Yeah.
If I turned too fast, I would trip on my own feet.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to pee all over again. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But overall, that part wasn't too bad. It was nice progressing. The weekend. We didn't do much. We had lots of visitors, but
Yeah, it
like
was
just
really
chilled
nice
out
to
for the
see.
most part.
It's really nice to see how much everyone cared.
Yeah.
It's an understatement, isn't it? Yeah. And Monday you had your ICD surgery, and it was quick, and your recovery time was really easy.
What's an ICD for those that don't know?
Oh, an implanted cardiac device.
Right. So it's the same as a pacemaker.
No, it is not.
No, it's not the same as a pacemaker.
No.
People keep confusing that. So it's under my chest. Ironically, under my like 5-year-old tattoo that says "Never Give Up," that's right over my heart, is my defibrillator, and it's just like it sounds. If it feels, so it's my defibrillator and then a wire screwed into the side of my heart, and if it notices my heart goes up too fast or down too fast or does anything irregular, it's going to make a loud beep noise, and I get a big old shock to get it back to where it needs to be. It'll probably knock me out.
Right.
And they describe it as a horse kicking you in the chest. So we're going to try and avoid that.
I hope so.
Yeah. So, at any rate, got my defibrillator. And I remember I woke up from my surgery and all I wanted was a hot dog.
You did.
That's all I wanted was a hot dog. I don't know why a hot dog. Yeah. I was so mad I got meatloaf for supper and all I wanted was a hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, surgery went really well. And you were out less than 24 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got
You're
home.
on strict restrictions, and
Oh, now I'm on.
that's okay.
Can't lift my arms over 90 degrees. Can't lift more than 10 pounds.
Yep. Can't drive for 6 months.
Can't drive for 6 months. We'll get into another video about that.
We'll have to get creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't drive for 6 months, which takes us nearly to the end of summer. There's snow on the ground right now, and that'll be the end of summer. So anyway, can't drive for 6 months. I don't know, there's a long list. Lots of bed rest.
Yeah. You're tired. You sleep a lot.
Yeah, I gotta wait till the swelling of my heart comes down so I can actually get some sort of cardio. We go to leave the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my bed, and I see jogging pants. I see, ironically, this shirt.
Yeah.
I see a fresh pair of underwear.
Yeah, I thought I brought everything.
And what do I not see?
Shoes.
Shoes.
Steve said, I don't see any shoes anywhere. Did you bring me shoes? And I went, nope, I forgot shoes.
So we got a double pair of socks from the hospital.
Yeah.
And hospital socks at that.
Yeah.
And
they were thick and they had grip and they were perfect.
They were an amazing shoe. They got me home.
They got you home.
Yeah. And we went downstairs to X-ray to see one of our friends who works in the X-ray lab.
Yeah.
And
we said our goodbyes.
Yeah.
And we left.
Yeah.
So thankful we were able to walk out of there.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was going to happen.
The nurses said on that floor, it's 75% of people who leave that floor don't leave on their own feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while you were there, you heard a lot of people pass away.
It's constant. Like every day, code blue, like nonstop. I don't even know how many.
It's sad.
So many, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll throw this out there. Again, I'm not a medical professional, just what I've heard. This to happen to somebody 39 who eats really good and exercises lots, is very active, is extremely rare. A lot of people said it was my workload. It was not. A lot of people said it's because I didn't work out enough. It was not.
It wasn't your stress
It
level?
was not my stress level. It was hereditary. And not only was it hereditary, because I worked out so much, it made it worse or sooner. But that also saved my life.
Yeah.
That's why I recovered so fast. Most people recover from this over the period of months, and I recovered in 11 days.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not fully. I do have side effects, like I can't feel my tongue still. I may never feel my tongue.
No. And you have quite a bit of memory loss, but that's okay.
That's expected.
You came back the exact same person.
And that was a risk that we also came across, was I could have a completely different personality. We didn't know.
Yeah.
So that's scary all in itself. Like, this is who you're married, and I could come back as, you know, Joe Blow. So,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah. And you knew, when did you know it was me?
When our sister-in-law texted us saying you needed to go to the bathroom, but you weren't going to do it in a bedpan.
Yeah.
So you said, I'll save it for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to wait till tomorrow.
And then I
like,
texted her back. I'm like, he's back.
He's here. Yeah. My favorite nurse, I think, was Megan. Because in the original, the first part, she was just doing her job. And then I just harassed her so much that she probably had a mini party when I left. So.
I think most people did.
Yeah.
I think everyone did.
Lana down in CCU.
Yeah.
For sure. Lots of visitors. I don't remember a lot of people being there, but you said they were.
There were lots of people there.
Yeah.
It was just really nice to have so much support. We didn't realize, we knew we'd have support. We didn't realize how much until something big like this happens.
The amount of food we had dropped off.
It was wonderful. The kids even realized how much people cared. There was always somebody reaching out to the kids or to us and showing up at the house.
And don't get me wrong, flowers are great.
The flowers were wonderful.
But,
the
like,
coming in the house to clean up the mess that was there was wonderful.
Yeah.
The food, because I spent 14 hours at the hospital and the kids were at home trying to still go to school and get to their sports and keep their life as regular as possible during this. And they didn't have to worry about grocery shopping and making meals.
Yeah.
Everybody was able to help us out so we could focus on what we needed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was wonderful. And I don't know how I'm ever going to thank everybody.
You don't?
I don't know how.
I don't think you can.
Other than a huge heartfelt thank you for the care and the compassion that everyone has shown us and the patience.
Definitely, yeah.
I need patience
Yeah.
in my life.
I actually told one of the young employees here, I won't say his name, but I told him, should he ever have a friend or family member end up in the hospital, food is the best gift, because it gives the spouse one less thing to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And so, well, it's just so much load off of you.
Yeah.
So, but flowers are amazing too. Like, don't get me wrong, flowers are great.
Oh, they were beautiful.
Yeah,
we had lots of them.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
you'd think I died from the amount of flowers that were in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, theoretically I did die, but it's been 3 weeks.
It doesn't feel real.
No.
No.
Unless I see like marks from IVs on my arm still.
Yeah.
I still have scars from IVs. And the scar on my chest, even like where my ICD is,
Yeah.
it does not feel real. Like,
No.
it's like, no.
It just proves that anything can happen to you at any time. So being familiar with first aid and CPR is really important. Even if you never think you're going to use it, it is a skill that everyone should have.
I never thought, and I mean, anybody who's gone through cardiac arrest could say this, I never thought this would happen to me.
No.
Like, when I woke up in the hospital, you didn't tell me at first, but when you told me my heart stopped and that my 16-year-old son
It's okay.
did CPR.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't expect that.
Nope.
So that's a skill that everyone needs to know. You just do.
And it's like, of all this stupid shit I buy, we don't have a defibrillator in the house yet. I will be getting one right away here.
Yeah, that's also really
But,
important.
like,
even if you never use it on a family member in your home, there might be a neighbor that needs it.
Yeah.
Or have it in your vehicle, or just anything.
You could have Girl Guides delivering cookies that need a defibrillator. Like, you don't know, right?
You just don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody wastes money on silly things.
I bought $13,000 wheels for my car. I don't have a defibrillator in the house.
Yeah.
You know? So, but
yeah, it just opens your eyes and makes you realize what's important, and
how fragile things are.
yeah, and make the appropriate changes so that other people don't have to experience a loss.
Yeah.
Just do the best you can.
Yeah, like,
Right?
yeah, like I learned from the nurses, like, well, my recovery was 1 in 2 million, I'm told.
Okay.
But, I mean, I went in healthy. They don't have a lot of answers yet as to why it happened, but
No.
if you take care of yourself and it happens to you, your odds are that much better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of obese people there. The diabetic, I don't know, I didn't ask their medical record history, but You know, they didn't make it. So it's pretty sad to see.
Yeah.
You know, we have a friend still there that we met in the hospital.
Yeah, he's still there recovering. He's doing better.
And he's been there 3 weeks now, or a month? No, 3 weeks.
Not quite a month, no.
Yeah, but hopefully he gets out tomorrow. Yeah, anyway.
Okay, that's our experience.
That's our story. Lots of people asking what happened, how it happened. To sum it up, it was basically hereditary. It was not health related, or sorry, I shouldn't say health related. Diet related, stress related, strictly hereditary. I grew up in a foster home, so I don't really know my family's medical history. That's what we're working on right now. There are some more tests to be done, but I'm home. I've been home for 10 days.
About that, yeah.
And getting stronger every day.
You are. You're making progress every day.
And I have lost over 33 pounds.
You'll gain it back.
Of muscle mass, not fat. Back to the regular content, I guess. And hopefully everybody takes something away from this video.
Yeah.
Okay.